I hope it's not like a bent valve from when the timing tensioner jumped and we had to retime this engine. It's a possibility. What is going on, my friends? Welcome back to the channel. As you saw in last video, this car had some major issues with metal in the oil and just all around not being very comfortable for me. So we got it refilled, new oil, new filter, and we're gonna take this car out today and we're gonna go put some miles on it to hopefully flush out anything else, see if there's anything else wrong, and then we're gonna run to the auto parts store, pick up a few things for this, some more oil, another filter, so that when we're done putting miles on this car, we can go ahead and flush it again, check the oil, cut the filter. Pretty much do the same thing that we were doing yesterday. But here's something funny first. We're going to be taking this car out, and this side looks absolutely beautiful. And then we come to the wing, and it's not looking so hot. And then we come to the passenger side, and it's not looking hot at all. Who cares what other people are going to think? They don't know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. The passenger side of the car is sanded down, and we're going to polish that out at some other point. I still have a little bit more work to do on that side to make it worth polishing up, because I don't want it to turn out how it was before, and it sucked. So let's go ahead and start this car. Let's get this thing pulled out, and let's get on the road and start doing some driving so we can see what's going on with this thing. Before we get moving, let's take off this AC belt, because I don't use it anyways, the air conditioning, and I want to see if that's where our squeak is coming from. Alright, I think that's going to be our problem child right there. So hopefully, now that that's not spinning, we don't have that squeak. And we can just kind of diagnose from there. Alright, she's back out. Fresh oil change. And this is what I'm talking about. She is all sorts of jacked up on the passenger side, so I don't really care what anybody else thinks. We're gonna send it, so let's get in here. Let's go put some miles on this thing, and let's hope that everything's gonna go good. Well, first things first, we don't have any squeaks, so that AC compressor bearing and clutch and all that jazz was the reason that it was squeaking so bad. So now I can actually drive this thing and listen to what the heck is going on. So that's a plus. Alright guys, so everything's looking good, feeling good. I'm not too concerned, actually. It just needs to be fully tuned, man. We're still on a base map, just trying to get this thing broke in and put some miles on it. Because it still wants to pull some fuel when you get into it. But other than that, it's running pretty good. I am glad that we got that squeak figured out. So that was such an annoying factor, dude. I was trying to diagnose multiple sounds at once while having a squeaking sound over the top of everything that was going on. So to be able to isolate that and make sure that's gone, I can hear this car so much better. It gives me just a lot more peace of mind. So I'm glad that we were able to get that done. This thing is running pretty good. I don't think I'm too concerned about metal in the oil now that it has fresh oil in it. I don't hear anything crazy. It's not running bad. I mean, it just needs a tune. So I think we're good, man. I think we are good to just keep running this thing. I don't know if you guys can hear it, that clicking sound. I'm pretty sure that is exhaust, but I don't freaking know, man. I hope it's not like a bent valve from when the timing tensioner jumped and we had to retime this engine. It's a possibility. But it wasn't more than like 2 teeth off, so I don't think it would cause interference. I don't know. The only way to know for a bent valve is we could do like a leak down test. But there she is, dude. Everything's running good. All the numbers are great. I'm gonna hop in here, grab some more oil, filter, and then we go stack some more miles on this car and hopefully regain trust in driving this thing again. If you guys are ever in a pinch, you need to go to AutoZone. They do have Subaru OEM filters that will fit most EJ engines. So that's good to know. People suck, man. Jeez. People do not know how to drive. And it sucks too, man, because we're like in the part of Florida where everybody and their dog is like 87 to like 94 years old. None of them should have licenses. I do think I suffer from road rage, to be honest with you. Mainly just on other people's stupidity. That bothers me. What can you do, man? You can't change everybody's mind. Can't make everybody a good driver. Alright, so we just got back and we just popped the check engine light. So, scanning the codes, it's showing a cylinder 4 misfire So it's throwing two codes. It's throwing misfire related, and then a P0304, which is a cylinder 4 misfire. So now that we actually have a code, it is leading me to believe that the cylinder 4, probably the valves on cylinder 4, might have got hit when we timed this engine and started it up and it jumped timing. So, with that being said, I think here's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to do a compression test to make sure everything is good. And now I'm not so confident that this clicking sound is an exhaust leak. I think it's probably a valve issue now. It might be a bent valve, so it looks like we're gonna have to rebuild at least cylinder 4. If we're in there, let's do them all. It'd be easy. I mean, it's just gonna be 2 head gaskets, valves, and seals. So, not that big of a deal. We can get that fixed. But let's get this guy back in the garage so we can tear into it. Alright, so, car's back in the garage. Obviously, as you can see right behind me. We've had a rough couple of videos. I'm kind of going through it here. So, I went inside. I had an adult soda. And I started just dwelling on some things and thinking about what's going on with this car. So, number one, the metal in the oil. That metal was aluminum. It wasn't copper. So I think our bearings are fine. Number two, that ticking sound, we bent a valve. I'm like 99% sure we bent at least 2 valves. We're going to have to tear it apart to find out. But I'll drop a link to a video down in the description box below. And it's a video by Smedia. I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen him, but he had the literal exact same problem that I had. His EJ jumped timing, got it put back together. Previous owner did, or whatever. Whatever. Previous owner jumped timing, put it back together, and it had a ticking sound. And that ticking sound is exactly the same ticking sound that I'm having because I jumped timing. And I thought we didn't jump it enough to hurt anything, but apparently we did because we were driving this car on jump timing without knowing it. In turn, we bent some valves. That is where the ticking is coming from. It is only in the driver's side head. That's the head that jumped timing. Taking a wild guess, and I think it's exhaust valves. Here's why I say that. Hindsight is always 20/20. When I was driving this car, after it had jump timing and we fixed it, I thought that the turbo was spooling weird, and in turn, it's because our exhaust valves was bent. Compression stroke, it was pushing exhaust out, causing uneven turbo spin. And that is where our turbo kind of sounds weird. You can probably hear it in one of the previous clips. So, all in all, what I'm getting at, we're going to have to pull this freshly built motor, and we're going to have to go through the heads. I'm going to stay stock valves, so I think I'm just going to rebuild the driver's side head and put it back together and call it good. That'll save us a whole bunch of money because I'm pretty cheap. And that'll save us a whole bunch of time as well. And with these heads only having like 55 miles on them, maybe 52 miles on them, they shouldn't need to go back for any sort of machine work. So we should be good to go to just run these heads. I'm going to throw some valves on order. Once we get this engine pulled out and we can confirm whether it's exhaust or intake valves, and we're going to go from there. Then we'll order the parts and just do what we need to do. But by pulling just the driver's side head, it's going to save us a bunch of money by not having to buy 2 sets of head gaskets, not having to buy 2 sets of cam seals, not having to buy 2 sets of literally everything. So we're just going to run it with the driver's side head and go from there. But with that being said, that's going to wrap up today's video. I kind of speechless, but next video is going to be fun. We're going to pull an engine. We're going to pull a fully built, freshly built EJ25. So thank you guys so much for sticking around. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.